Alright, brief shout out. I'm talking castles here. I can't but mention the guy. But what about dragons? Link in the description to his channel, of course. Hello noble ones, welcome back to my channel. This is the Metatron speaking. Today we're going to visit one of the most popular medieval castles here in Czech Republic, Frýdlant Castle. The castle was built in the first half of the 13th century, the date being speculatively 1241. At that time, Czech lands were endangered by Tatars, and a lot of new castles had to be built. In the course of time, the originally Gothic castle was rebuilt into a larger Renaissance chateau with abundant decorations and great and extremely valuable collections. But the very first castle, museum and chateau in Central Europe was opened in the 1800s in Frýdlant. Now the castle had a lot of owners. For example, in the 13th century the castle was held by the Ronovic family, but then the ownership went back to King Ottokar II around the middle of the century. The castle was then purchased by Rudolf of Bieberstein, purchasing directly from the king in 1278. The castle is situated near the center of the town, above the Smieda river. Now, this castle is one of the most visited castles and sites in Czech Republic. And I think, of course, the castle itself is interesting, absolutely. But what really interested me, and what I think would be interesting for you, noble ones, is the armory in the castle, which has over 1,000 weapons, both used for military purposes and hunting. Now, I went inside and I visited, I took the tour, of course, to see this armory. There were a lot of interesting weapons, and they had pole weapons. There were a lot of swords, great swords, and the great swords were absolutely amazing. Unfortunately, I wasn't allowed to take pictures or to film inside, although I'll tell you one thing, I do have something to show you, because they also, in the first room, and by the way, I strongly suggest you to go there and check the armory out. It's definitely worth it, Metatron approved. In the first room, they have armor. I'm talking about full plate armor in perfect conditions, like pristine conditions. And particularly there was this suit of armor, Maximilian armor, and which is an original, and it's absolutely fantastic, stunning piece of work. And yes, they allowed me to just very briefly film this one so that I can show you. So check this out. Now, as I say, the thing that really amazed me the most was the conditions of the suit of armor, and it's absolutely amazing. I even asked the tour guide how often they oil it and everything, because this thing, it's in better conditions than some of the things I own, and you know, that's what's incredible. But of course, having a lot of servants taking care of that, I'm sure it helps. But even the leather is in perfect conditions, and a friend of mine saw the picture and he said, well, but definitely the leather is not original. Well, it might be the case, but there are some examples of leather belonging to the Middle Ages, in like the famous longswords from Munich, which have the original leather, and it looks like it was made yesterday, as my friend Martin Holman pointed out as we were discussing this. So yeah, it could even be, I'm not sure whether the leather is original, but it's in incredible conditions anyways. Alright, noble ones, I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please remember, thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more content from the Metatron. And remember, the Metatron has spread his wings. Goodbye.